So now that we've had all these units here, let's talk a little bit about doing the metric conversions. So we've got the meters, grams, and liters. I'm going to put them in the middle. Decimeters, decigrams, deciliters, centimeters, centigrams, centiliters. Even though we know those don't get used much, we're going to put them in there. Millimeters, milligrams, milliliters. Then it skips a few to micro. We're not going to deal with those so much. Going this way, decameters, decagrams, decaliters, hectometers, hectograms, hectoliters. The hectos, no, we'll never use. Kilometers, kilograms, and kiloliters. So let's say we want to do some conversions. Let's say, and again, we can keep going up to the megas, but we're not going to deal with converting those. Let's say that we have 4.2 centimeters, and we want to convert it into millimeters. Well, we know that every position on this chart is either multiplying or dividing by 10. So to go from centi to milli, is the unit getting bigger or smaller? It's smaller. The unit's getting smaller, so the number has to get bigger, larger. So from centi to milli is one spot to the right on the chart. Now we said every spot is either multiplying or dividing by 10. Since we saw the unit's getting smaller, the number has to get bigger, so here we have to be multiplying by 10. Well, when you multiply by 10, what does it do to the number? Just moves the decimal point over a spot. So that becomes 42 millimeters. There you go. So really, the net effect, what happens is every spot on the chart is just moving the decimal point one spot in the same direction. So let's say that we need to convert 7,200 millimeters into meters. If you look on the chart, from millimeters to meters is 1, 2, 3 spots to the left. Well, guess how we're going to convert it. Our decimal point, which we don't see one there, but it is at the end of the number, if it's not written in, has to move 1, 2, 3 spots to the left. 7.2 meters. Well, if I wanted to go from, let's say I had 7.2 meters, and I wanted to go into millimeters, well, from meters to millimeters is 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. So my decimal point goes 1, 2, I got to add a 0, 3, another 0 to the right, back to 7,200 millimeters. The systems, yeah, your Google conversions, the conversion calculators you can pull up online, usually have round off errors in them that don't quite match up. Next thing I want to look at is going between metric and standard. There are a lot of conversions between units. Your book gives a whole bunch of them in there. I want to talk here strictly about simple conversions for now. For example, for length, the only conversion that I have memorized, because it's the only one that's exact, is that 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So if I want to make a conversion between standard and metric or the other way around, I can use that conversion. For example, let's say I want to know 10 feet is how many meters? Well, I can start by converting 10 feet into inches. How do I do that? Well, we did this before, just times 12. 10 feet is 120 inches, correct? But now I got to convert my inches into centimeters. So I'm going to make that into a fraction. Inches will go on bottom, centimeters on top. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So the inches will cross cancel out. 120 times 2.54 is 3,048, I believe, centimeters. Does that look right? 304.8? You're right. 304.8 centimeters. And now I want to convert that into meters, which on the chart, centimeters to meters is 2 spots to the left. So move my decimal point 2 spots to the left. 3.048 meters. Not so bad? That's bad? You'll get used to it, hopefully. For weight, 1 kilogram is about 2.2 pounds. Now this depends on what textbook you're looking at. Some textbooks, it's actually like 2.208. So some textbooks will say 2.21 and whatever. In the medical field, where you'd think it'd be the most vital, they use 2.2. So I'm going to consider that to be good enough for us. So let's say that I have a patient that comes into the hospital, and the patient weighs 187 pounds. And for our medications and stuff, we need to convert that weight into kilograms. So we'll put it over 1. Pounds go on bottom here, so they cross cancel. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So the pounds cross cancel. 187 times 1 kilogram is 187 kilograms. 1 times 2.2 is 2.2. And then we have to divide out. 187 divided by 2.2, I believe, is 85. So it's 85 kilograms. For capacity, 1 gallon. I believe this textbook uses 3.79 liters for 1 gallon. I've always used 3.785, but that's close enough. So 79, okay. So we'll use 3.79 because that's what the book uses. So let's say we need to convert 10 gallons into liters. We're the same thing. 10 gallons is going to get put over 1 to make it a fraction. Gallons will go on bottom, liters on top. 1 gallon is 3.79 liters. So the gallons cross cancel. 10 times 3.79 is 37.9 liters. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning. In every one of these conversions we do, there are 2 ways to do it. Let me find the page in the textbook here that goes with it. So on the current version of the textbook, it's actually page 576. There's a lot of our metric to standard conversions there. Well, if we are converting, let's say we're having 42 miles. We want to convert it into kilometers. There are 2 different conversion factors we have that relate miles to kilometers. We have 1 mile is approximately 1.61 kilometers. Or there's 1 kilometer is approximately 0.62 miles. Those are both good conversions. We could use both of them. The textbook always tends to use the one that allows you to multiply instead of divide. Let me show you what I mean by that. So the 42 miles, we're going to put it over 1 to make it a fraction. Over here, miles are going to go on bottom, kilometers on top. The book is going to choose the conversion factor that has the 1 on bottom here, so the 1 with the miles. So we're going to use the 1 mile as 1.61 kilometers. So that means is the miles will still cross cancel out, but they don't have to divide by anything. All they have to do is multiply the 42 by 1.61. Giving you 67.62 kilometers. Does that make sense? If you did it the other way, you'd get a very, very similar answer, but both of these conversions are rounded, so it would come out just slightly different. You had 42 miles over 1, and you used 1 kilometer is 0.62 miles, the miles are still going to cross cancel out. What you're going to get is 42 kilometers over 0.62. And when you divide 42 by 0.62, you get 67.74. Pretty much, it's the same measurement. It's off by 13 hundredths of a kilometer. It's the same measurement, but in my math lab, they're going to be looking for this number because they want you to use the one with a 1 on the bottom of that conversion factor. So just be aware of that. Okay, well, the next thing I want to go over. What if I were to tell you guys that I can throw a baseball at the rate of 90 feet per second? Would you believe me?
Yeah.
So you're thinking on a baseball field, first base to home plate is 90 feet. That's saying I can stand on first base and throw the ball to home plate and it'll be there in 1 second.
Yes.
Do you believe I can do that? Well, is 90 feet per second fast? If I told you that you're going to drive home tonight at a rate of 90 feet per second, you can get a speeding ticket. Sounds like it's pretty fast, doesn't it? What units are we used to seeing speeds in? Miles per hour. So let's take this 90 feet per second. 90 feet over 1 second is how we're going to write it. And let's convert it into miles per hour. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert the feet into miles. So feet on bottom, miles on top. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. Next, I want to get rid of the seconds. So seconds on top. Do I have a conversion from seconds to hours? We could. Let's go to minutes first. We know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. And then minutes to hours, 1 hour is 60 minutes. So we can see here the feet cross cancel there. Seconds cross cancel, minutes cross cancel. So we are left with miles per hour. So we've got 90 times 60 is 324,000 miles. 1 times 5280 times 1 times 1 hour is 5,280 hours. If we divide that out, let me see. 324,000 divided by 5280 is what? 61.38 or something like that. Does that sound right? Somebody double check me. Oh, 3.6 instead of 3.8. Okay. I'll change it. I know. I can't believe I made such a horrible error. So 61.36 miles per hour. I could probably still throw that fast. And I'm guessing there's going to be at least a few of you that drive that fast or faster on the way home today. So this is why that conversion factor for making conversions is so powerful. As you can see here, when we have dual units like feet per second, we can use those conversion factors to convert them over.
How many miles per second is that?
Not many. It's about 1/60th of a mile per second.
If you could throw a mile in a second, I think you should not be teaching at school.
If I could throw a ball a mile, I wouldn't be teaching at school. The good news is that is pretty much all our material for today. There is no quiz yet, but there is
Homework.
a homework. Yes, due next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Not this Tuesday?
Due next week, Tuesday. How's that?
Wait. Oh, this is Wednesday.
How about, Tuesday the 14th. How's that sound?